today's session we are going to talk about microbiology. So let's get started. Generally, microbiology deals with organisms which we can't see with our naked eyes. I'm going to first talk about bacteria. So what is bacteria? So bacteria are organisms which we can't really see with our naked eyes. We need help of a microscope to see that. Bacteria is a unicellular prokaryotic organism. So what do I say about unicellular? So unicellular means uni means single. So single cell organism. So bacteria are basically a single cell organism. So what is prokaryotic? Prokaryotic means that they doesn't have a defined nucleus. We humans are eukaryotes. We have a defined nucleus inside a cell. But these bacteria doesn't have a defined nucleus inside their cell. Bacteria is mainly divided into 6 types. So they are first comes the coccus. Coccus means the spherical shaped bacteria. So the structure of a coccus is basically a round shape. You can consider it like that. And next comes the bacillus. Bacillus can be also called as rod-shaped bacteria. Rod-shaped bacteria means they looks like rod. It will be like this. So one best example of bacillus is lactobacillus, which is most commonly seen in curd. Like when you keep the milk overnight, it will turn into a curd. So there is a high presence of lactobacillus in that. Lactobacillus makes that process easy, formation of curd. And the third comes the Vibrio. Vibrio is a comma-shaped bacteria. It just looks like a comma. And the best example of Vibrio is Vibrio cholerae, the microorganism which causes cholera disease. And after Vibrio, there comes the another section of the bacteria, that is the spirillum. Then comes the actinomycetes, then mycoplasma. So when talking about spirillum is a type of bacteria which is in spring shape. It just basically looks like a spring. But the spirillum is mainly divided into 2 types. They are the spirilla and the spirochetes. I have divided the 6 sections of the bacteria. Now let's look into each. So the first one is the coccus. So what do you know about coccus? It is a spherical shaped bacteria. And the best example of coccus is Micrococcus leuconosta. And so this is about coccus. And next comes the bacillus. So what is about bacillus? Bacillus is a rod-shaped bacteria, and the best example of bacillus is lactobacillus. Rod-shaped. And this example is very easy to remember since we have a daily usage of curd. Then comes the, after lactobacillus, it is the Vibrio. Vibrio, it is a coma-shaped bacteria, and the best example of Vibrio is Vibrio cholerae. And then comes the spirillum. So I said that spirillum is divided into two. So they are spirilla and the spirochetes. So the spirillum looks like a spring. It looks in a twisted or a spring-shaped form. So the difference between these two are, in spirilla, the spring-shaped bacteria is more of a rigid type. It's a rigid bacteria, whereas in spirochetes, they're rigid. It's not rigid, it's flexible type of spirillum bacteria. After spirillum, then comes actinomycetes. They are branchy filamentous type bacteria. And they looks like this. This is the microscopic view of this actinomycetes bacteria. I'm not sure. And next comes the mycoplasma. Mycoplasma bacteria, they lack a defined cell wall.